Evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Golden Goal Fantasy Football Podcast. As always, we're going to cover FanTeam, and as always, I'm joined by my good mate Sam. How you getting on, mate? How's your FanTeams doing?
Yeah, good, mate. A good few weeks. Another good week so far. So, yeah, don't want to curse things, but happy. What about you?
Not too bad. I can't complain. I don't think I'm quite at the heights that you are, but I'm making pretty much every week a slow gain, like a couple hundred ranks a
Yeah,
week. I
that's
think
what it's all about, mate, isn't it? That's what it is all about.
when we start, and I really think these pods are helping me as well, just getting knowledge of the fixtures, etc. Because I think when we originally started these pods in the full season game, I was about 2,500th, and now I'm 1,500th. So I know it's not a massive gain, but over that period of time, 1,000 places. And then in the second chance, I think our first episode was actually a special for the second chance game. But I'm
Yeah,
600th in that as well at the moment, and it's not lighting the
hey, that's
world up,
mega.
but I'm quite happy with that.
No, that's awesome, mate. Really good.
You're
Yeah.
doing better than me, though, so shall we look at your team first, if you don't mind?
Yes, mate. Let's go for it.
Up on the screen, mate, whenever you're ready.
So, so I left Pope in goal, and I saw he had low ownership. I just got a little glimmer of like Burnley are really going for it. They've had a new kind of a bit of a mini manager bounce, haven't they? And he got me, and he came up trumps again, didn't he, against Wolves?
Oh,
I did just fancy.
yeah, honestly, when they sacked, right, I'm sure everyone had the same opinion. When they sacked Sean, sorry to speak over you, but when they sacked Sean
That's
Dyche,
right.
everyone was probably slating Burnley, right? I know they've only played one game, or is it two now since he's gone? I can't remember, but they've
Year two,
improved.
or yeah, they have, yeah, yeah. And I saw glimmers of that against whoever it was before. And I saw lots of people maybe making moves on the goalkeeper, but Wolves is a good fixture anyway because they're not a high scoring side. And yeah, got a nice return from Pope. He will be leaving, as we'll discuss it later on, but delighted to have him for for what I've got from him, and he'll go down as a good transfer in fan team. Um, Van Dijk and Trent both returning another another clean sheet. That's them two have been what's propelled me up the ranks. So I think when we started the pod, I was about 3,000th. I'd been much higher, and I'd had a real, like you, quite a lot of a decline around the Christmas. And now, as it stands, with two Chelsea to play tomorrow, I'm 500th. So I've had quite a nice rank rise, and I attribute a lot of that to Van Dijk and Trent. There was all the rumours going around on Twitter, wasn't there, before the game that there was like 6 or 7 Liverpool
God, I'm
players
so glad I didn't
rested.
listen to those. Yeah.
Well, it didn't matter in
Oh, it was
FanTeam
a
by
bit
that
late,
point
wasn't
because
it? Yeah, of course.
yeah, and so I was kind of frantic looking at my bench, going, "I've got Dennis, but he won't come in for anyone because of that whole formation thing we talked about last week." So like I've got Van Dijk and Trent. Oh, I'm going to be dropping rank, and then to see them both start was great, and clean sheet for both. No intentions of changing from triple Liverpool at all. I'll just leave it as it is. So happy with that. And yeah, and then I brought in Alonso and left Rudiger with the aim that he's going to hopefully come back, which we've seen he's been in training. So um, I could have easily been Reece James, Tom, and I had him in other formats. And anyone that brought him in, I really do feel for you because such a great option. And it was just a flick of
No
a
one
coin,
saw him being
really. And
injured,
just
did they? No one saw that coming.
no, exactly. And Alonso obviously got the clean sheet and the assist. So I definitely got lucky there, variance, and I was on my side for that one. Son, Salah, Saka, Havertz, and Ramsey. Brought Ramsey in to A, enable everything I want to do, but B, because he's got some like fixture congestion coming up, which is nice, and he's cheap and he pops out with a goal. So he didn't get anything, but he got the clean sheet point. Take that. We changed the armband late, didn't we? So it was on Havertz, and then I made a decision on the morning, which I did update all of our Twitter followers on if anyone saw that. So that I'd moved it to Salah from Havertz. Obviously, Havertz didn't get any returns, but has the next game coming up on the Thursday. So in a bit of kind of mixed mindset on what I want to happen there. Probably discuss that later on. Saka thought about you might have just been nailed down that left hand side. Like so many wingers have got returns against them, so he was a good option. I think you mentioned it, and you were right there. Goal and assist. Is that right?
You'll see when you look at my second chance team. I got really jammy with him, but yeah, goal and assist. Yeah.
Stop the armband on Salah. It was really tight and tentative. Like, I looked at it and sort of almost regretted it straight away in the first 10 minutes. Like, Everton are absolutely
They
parking the
showed up,
bus
didn't
here. Yeah, and so to get actually Salah clean sheet point and assist and all the extras that come with 90 minutes and all that, and sort of just about a 15, just under a 15 pointer, 14-6. I'll take it. Obviously, we'll see what happens tomorrow night. Son and Kane, yeah, like we've talked about this already, haven't we? Tottenham a bit of Jekyll and Hyde, and as we'll talk about later, I think they're both really good captaincy options for the next game week. And then, yeah, Weghorst, I remember saying to you, like, I just have to play him. It was him or Dennis, and they both ended up returning. So kind of got a bit jammy there again, really. I think Dennis has returned for both of us on the bench the last 2 game weeks, isn't he?
He's going to be hard to get rid of. Somehow Dennis has stayed in my team since I did my wild card, and it's going to be real hard to sell him because I think he's got a double coming up as well. And like you said, he scored against Man City. Coming up. He can score against anyone if you score against Man City.
So that's where I'm at currently. I've got Alonso and Havertz to go. Perfect scenario would be another Alonso kind of clean sheet and attack and return. And actually, although I've got Havertz and brought him in this week with it included in a hit, I'd be happy for him to blank again. And I'm trying to think strategically here. And I don't think an assist or a goal would hurt me hugely, but I think Alonso's the key one there to get another return would be nice. Because I have a feeling Rudiger and or James might be back for this, which I think a few people will own. So either way, Tom, really happy with the week so far, and it puts me in a nice position again moving forward. So yeah, that's where I am, mate. I'll let you
tidy team, mate.
Jump in.
I don't have a little bit different to you. So I had to take a -4 last week. So I brought in Mason Mount, Alonso and Schmeichel. I originally had, I think it was Pope, Doherty and Martinelli. I just thought the 3 of those for the 3 that I had before was a smart move. And I know I downgraded, well, in a way. I don't know if you can call it a downgrade. But Pope to Schmeichel was a bit of a luxury move, but it enabled Mount and Alonso to come in. So I just thought it was sensible. Schmeichel, quite similar to Pope, got a clean sheet. Alonso, you already spoke about him. Trent in Cancelo, I'm just happy to leave them. Don't really care what they score every week. They're just so good that they'll just stay. Son and Kane, already spoke about them, not doing too well. I also captained Salah. We had the same mindset with that one. James Maddison, didn't really get up to much, but I think he kept a clean sheet. Saka, he won't be going anywhere anytime soon. I think he's proven himself to be on penalties now as well, so that's another feather to his bow. Mason Mount, I went for him purely because I couldn't afford Havertz. Between the two, I probably would have had Havertz if I could have bought him, but I just didn't have the funds, so Mount was all I was left with. I take whatever I can get from him, really. He's gone up to 29% owned in FanTeam now, so I think, looking at Havertz, I think he was under 20, so it looks like Mount was the more popular pick in the game. And then Kane and Broja up top. Sorry, mate.
19% for Havertz.
Yeah, and then we got Kane and Broja up front. Broja's been really quite disappointing, to be honest.
He has, hasn't he?
Whether I sell him or not, I don't know. It's just, I really want to get Richarlison, just because they've got 2 double game weeks coming up, and Everton are absolutely fighting for their lives. And he is a good player, is Richarlison. But I wish he was a similar price to Broja, but I just can't make the move work at the moment. But yeah, we'll see. Similar to you, I had Dennis getting another goal on my bench. That's about it, really, for my team.
And still Mount and Alonso to go.
Yeah, exactly.
For you, mate,
2 more players to go,
which is good.
Can't complain. And then just a quick one on my second chance team. So I took another -4 in this one. Actually, I can't remember. So long. Well, it feels like it was long ago. It was only a week, but I can't remember exactly who I took out. In fact, I can. I took out Pope for Schmeichel, and I had Doherty and Tierney in my defence. So I took them out for both Alonso and James. I'm going to be a bit annoyed if James plays against Man United, especially if he comes off the bench, because I'll probably missing out on some points from the auto sub rule there. But yeah, Schmeichel and Alonso and Trent, you heard about them in my first team. I actually, because of his price and just Leicester's sheer volume of fixtures, I actually brought in Fofana, because the thing is with Fofana, there are two Leicester centre-backs in the game that are cheaper than him. So Soyuncu and Amati are both priced lower than Fofana. So I thought if I brought in Fofana and he doesn't play, I'll always get someone. And it just feels like they're not, obviously still not lighting the world up, but now Fofana and Evans are back for Leicester. They do feel a bit better defensively. So yeah, Fofana got me a nice clean sheet. Got a bit jammy in my midfield, so I originally had Martinelli in there, but he was also sub for Xhaka, who obviously scored the banger against United, so some nice points there. I really do like that auto sub rule, actually. I've probably had a good rub of luck from it, but it's just a nice thing to have, isn't it? Even if I got unlucky with it, I'd just be glad that I always had 11 players. Excuse me. And then I had Son, another blank from him, same with Kane, but I'm just going to leave them. Salah, and then this is the first time this season I forgot to set my captain right. I forgot to change my captain from Saka. I would have given it to Salah, but it accidentally stayed on Saka, who got a goal and assist against United. So very happy. And then my fifth midfielder is Dewsbury Hall. Just happy with whatever he gets really. And I'm now, after the Saka and Xhaka auto sub, I'm up to 600 in this game, so I'm quite happy.
Nice one, mate. That's really good, and nice, again, really good position to kick on into the season. Rest of the season, sorry.
Yeah, and I think I've said this before, my tactic really with FanTeam is I'm not much of a gambler. I was lucky enough to get a free entry for the Euros, and I've just been playing all of my FanTeam Premier League games off the back of that. Probably going to return about 60 quid in the full season game, and in this one at the moment it's about 25. So all I'm hoping to do is just keep my FanTeam account rolling with no personal investment really, and just enter as many teams as I can next season with my pot of money.
Nice, Tom. Yeah, nice. Like it.
And then I've just thought, because, I don't think the City one is actually on Ben Crellin's fixture grid yet, but yeah, this is, as always, full credit to Ben Crellin for this fixture grid. But yeah, just to look at the upcoming fixtures. So yeah, I guess the main ones to focus on really. Gameweek 35 is almost null and void, isn't it? With it being only a single, I don't really care about it. Just happy to get what I can out of my players. But yeah,
are you gonna? Yeah, go for it, Tom. It's all right. You carry on, then I'll jump in. It'll be a relevant question in a minute, anyway.
Fine. 36 and 37 are the interesting ones, I would say. The news, sort of news we got today, I can't remember what the Twitter account is called because he deserves some credit, because I think he must have a connection with the people that schedule the Premier League games. I think he's called FPL Villains or something like that. He seems to be like a Villa fan, but he always gets the early fixture predictions correct. And he tweeted today that Man City are going to double in game week 36. So just a bit of useful info there.
Yeah, and actually Liverpool now have a game in 37, which they didn't have, which anyone who's on Triple Liverpool watching this can probably breathe a sigh of relief now that they're going to get... I remember saying to you I was going to have that issue of 3 Liverpool and then wanting to maybe take one out, bring them back in. I don't know. That problem is now eradicated, and it's a nice fixture against Southampton as well. It means Liverpool finish with Southampton and Wolves the final 2, so kind of solves... No, it kind of solves an issue for me in one sense with that, and I'm sure it does for many others who are on a lot of Liverpool.
Yeah, and all I want to say really is, you can see the fixtures there. To be honest, I think if you don't literally have 11 players in game week 36 with a double game week, I think you're going to fall behind, because I think it's very reasonable that with the quality of the teams that double that week, I think it's very reasonable and easy enough for you to build yourself a team that has 11 double game week players that week.
Yeah.
Don't know how you feel about that, but...
Yeah, well, I'm thinking, so this is my question to you. Like, this is a bit of strategy stuff. I'm thinking about rolling 35, so I get 2 frees into 36, and then I will probably take a hit as well, so I'll probably be looking at 3 moves in 36. And I don't know, we're going to probably go into it and you'll go on your strategy, Tom, but my sort of personal strategy here, just with wanting to finish as high as I can, I'm going to attack, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to attack probably triple Everton. So Richarlison to come in, Pickford to come in, Anthony Gordon to come in and help with enabling some of that financially. Obviously, I have zero City at the moment, so I'm probably want to bring in a Cancelo as well. Just trying to have to work out the best way to do this because I've just named 4 moves there that would make a -8. So something along those lines, basically attacking the teams that have a lot riding on it, and the fact that Everton double.
I mean,
Already have
it's
Ramsey, he double doubles. Don't have any Leicester now. I did have intentions to bring maybe a Madison or a Barnes in, but just feel like, or even a Fafana or something like what you've sort of done, but feel like Leicester and Villa are firmly on the beach and in Premier League, and Leicester have got that European stuff going on. So I couldn't tell you who I feel like in that Leicester team would be regular and starting all those games. I think it's the second chance game is different because you get the safety net. I think it's a little bit more of an issue in the main game. So that's my thinking, Tom, moving forward for that. And yeah, I think I'm going to have probably 11 doublers in that 36.
the only to be honest, mate, I think the logic with behind Everton is perfectly good. The only player I'd try and talk you out of is Pickford. I just don't think Everton are good enough. But I really do, and Schmeichel, of course, yeah, I think he's a better option. But Richarlison and Gordon, I know. Well, Gordon looked really exciting against Liverpool, and I think he's only like 4.5 million, isn't he? So might as well at that price. And then Richarlison is clearly Everton's best player. He's their main man. They really need to win every game they can play at the moment, and their 4 fixtures are Leicester, Watford, Brentford, and Palace. Those are 4 pretty good fixtures. So I like it.
Yeah, it's a good point on Schmeichel there because Norwich, Everton, bar Chelsea, and then
That's
Watford.
good,
That's 3 quite nice fixtures for Leicester. I'll probably give that some thought. I do feel like I just feel like Norwich and Watford kind of scream Harvey Barnes a little bit as well. There could be a -8 on the cards here, Tom, to attack this. And then there's also the thought process, not just the 36, but who you're going to have for the few doubles in the 37 as well. And yeah, I just think Ramsey ticks that perfectly. Villa aren't playing for too much, but just fixture volume and congestion there's perfect. Maybe Kasper Schmeichel's a great option because it solves that who's going to play defensively for Leicester. You know, Kasper Schmeichel's going to be in goal and he's a very, very good goalkeeper.
And yeah, you're talking about teams being on the beach, etc. You look at, I mean, I think personally, 36, I think most people are going to have 10 or 11 double game week players. So I think 37 is the one where you will start to see some proper variances. And yeah, you look at those teams that are playing 37. Villa, like you said, I feel like they are really on the beach at the moment. They look like they've really fallen off it. Burnley really got something to play for, but their 2 fixtures are Tottenham, Villa, or even though I described Villa as on the beach. You got Chelsea, Man United, Leicester. To be honest, beach or not, I'd probably pick Chelsea players. Crystal Palace, and then you got Everton. They've really got something to play for, and Brentford Palace is a really nice double. So, yeah, targeting Everton for 37, I really like it.
Yeah, I do, and I think Chelsea. I think it's a good rationale to have Chelsea because it isn't done and dusted for third yet. I think they need another win, and then once the FA Cup's out of the way and done, they've got Leicester and Watford as their final games of the season. So it's quite high possibility that they could just beat Watford 2 or 3-0 on the final day of the season and play a strong side. And so, yeah, I'm not object at all. I've already got double Chelsea, Rudiger and Alonso, and Rudiger's fit in plays. I'll keep him in there as well. And yeah, you're right. Palace, yeah, Palace are on the beach, mate, aren't they? You know, we can see that. Spurs have got something to play for. We've got quite tricky fixtures, but I do like still Kane and Son double up. Like I like that in the double in 36 with Arsenal and Liverpool. I do think Son will get at least one return in those 2 games. And then Burnley and Norwich, are they still fighting for top 4, Tom? They are good fixtures. Burnley's probably the tougher one there with the way that Burnley are playing at the moment. But they're going to want to win, aren't they? So I think, between Everton, Chelsea, Liverpool, City, and Tottenham interspersed with some Everton and Burnley, that could be the main bulk of players to pick from for the remaining games, and you get quite a few doubles in there as well.
Yeah, mate, I can't disagree. Really, really like it. Yeah.
Is that your sort of plan then? Are you going to roll 35, do you think? And
Definitely. I don't see a need to make a transfer for 35 unless your team
no.
is like completely plagued by injuries and you can't make 11 players. I wouldn't bother. I think I'm quite happy to roll for 35.
I think
I'm just going to make one for 36 because it keeps my balance of two intact, and then I think I'll make a minus. I might even have to take a -4 to get my plan for Everton in for 37. But I really do think 37 is a time to make a couple of moves. Like I said, most of us will probably have players already for 36 just because of the quality of the teams that double. But 37, I think, will force us into a few moves.
Yeah, I think I could. The only reason I could see myself using a transfer this week is if I get some more Rudiger news that
Good
he's
shout,
just not
yeah.
playing, or because we know he's leaving at the end of the season. So I don't know how to. I think Tuchel's going to want to get the job done. Therefore, that's why I think he'll play. But if I do see something there, then there might just be a move to a City defender just to cover that
And
off.
it's not like, I don't think Rudiger's acted in a terrible way towards Chelsea or anything. He's just chosen a different club, so I don't think there's any reason to kick him out of the team. And I think, is it Christensen has signed for Barcelona as well? And he's still been
Yeah,
playing,
he's
so
off.
I don't think there's any reason that Rudiger will be kicked out of the team for wanting to leave. It's just the injury status, isn't it, I think?
Yeah, I think like you said, we've talked about 36. We've looked at that sort of top portion of teams, but Wolves have got a double. Leeds have also got a double as well, and Leeds still need some points on the board, don't they? So Rafinha is always a good option in that midfield. It is Chelsea, Arsenal, same as Wolves. It's Man City, Chelsea. So I do feel like most people's selections will be from Leicester, Villa, Everton, Chelsea, City, Liverpool, Spurs, Arsenal.
I tell you who I do like, and I'm going to play him actually in 36. I like Dennis for 36 as well.
Dennis.
That's going to be the one game I start him for after his 2 goals off my bench, and he'll probably blank now. But I feel like playing
Yeah,
him for 36.
I was going to ask you the question: are you going to play him? I certainly will be.
You got to, haven't
I
you? I
think.
think.
Yeah,
Might even
yeah. And
play
do you
him
think
this
you're
week
going
as
to?
well against Burnley. Who knows? He's been scoring against the likes of Man City, so yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, yeah. Totally agree. He's had 2 in 2, isn't he? Returns wise, anyway. Um, yeah, and I do definitely think Richarlison and Anthony Gordon in for 436 is a great,
Yeah.
great shout. And as much as it pains me, I'm going to probably have them both in. I think that'll be my 3 moves actually: Gordon, Richarlison, and then Casper Schmeichel on the minus. I think you're probably right. He's just a better shout than Pickford.
Cool. I think that covers us nicely for the fixtures. It's amazing, isn't it? We have barely feels like we've been doing this podcast for 5 minutes, but this fixture grid has gotten smaller and smaller, hasn't it? There's only like 4 weeks left. It's mental. 4 captaincy decisions
Yeah,
left and 4 bloody transfer decisions left. It's almost
but that's what I
refreshing.
like about it, Tom. There's so much at stake left for people that want to climb ranks
Yeah.
still. There's lots of strategies there, and we've just talked about the ones that we've picked out. I'm sure there's many more strategies there that could be utilized, and I think people will do their own thing, and it leaves it open to rank games, which I think is so great and refreshing when you compare it to say Sky, where you used to sort of seeing the season out a little bit.
I'll just quickly flash up the questions. We got a few, and thank you everyone again for asking your questions and watching as you always do. As always, our good mate FPL Shenanigans, who we said last week's absolutely flying, mate, and we're all behind you for a good finish and some money. Hopefully you can go away on holiday with whatever you win, because yeah, you deserve it for how well you've been playing. And don't worry, you're not too late. He's asked us, might be a bit late for the pod, but what do you boys think about swapping Kane out to fund Kevin De Bruyne? Any thoughts?
Yeah, so I've been talking to you about this today, hadn't I? And I think my plan would have been, I am go back to the Kane point, but would have been Son out for KDB. But then I've looked at when the best opportunity to make that move. I feel if I was going to do Son out, it would be this week. But I think he's a plum captain option for this week, and so therefore I won't be making that move. But I think KDB in in time for that double or even this week is a such a good shout. And if you can make it happen in a feasible way, I really, really like it. I don't know if he's got Son. I'd want some. I would want some Spurs cover. Again, Tom, I don't know your opinion on this, but I would personally want one of like Kane or Son.
I think in that
But I
double
do think,
of Arsenal and Liverpool, I think they've got a good chance of scoring in those games. Just for the
yeah,
way
I do.
I think they set up perfectly to play Arsenal and Liverpool at the moment. I really do.
And what he needs to do is exactly what I did earlier. And I said to you about looking at KDB versus Kane and going, does KDB massively outscore Kane or vice versa over the next three fixtures? And my definitive answer with Son was no. I think Son will get returns somewhere along those three and roughly match KDB. KDB, I feel like he's totally nailed. He's a great differential. He's playing some of his best football. He's injury prone. That's the one concern for me with KDB. And then you've got to make a sideways move to then get someone else in. And as we just talked about, transfers at this stage of the season are so important, especially in his position where he's got exceptionally good rank. But then again, KDB might be that differential that gets him that very, very nice financial return. So it then goes into what sort of player you are. And this hits into me and you a little bit each week, doesn't it, Tom, when we talk about moves and you are a bit more less of a risk taker and I'm thinking more aggressively. So I'll leave that one down to him to decide. But I genuinely think he's a great option. Yeah, what do you think, Tom?
Yeah, you told everyone what I am. I'm less of a risk taker than yourself. So I think if the move was Kane to KDB, I probably wouldn't do it. Just because I think they're a better. I'm sure you have a better opportunity in your team to bring in a City player for a bigger gain. I just don't think there's enough between KDB and Kane to warrant a transfer. But I do think, I don't know, say you got someone who doesn't double when you bring in Foden or Bernardo Silva or something, I'd say they are equally nailed as KDB in terms of minutes. Like Foden and Silva have been seeming to play every game. So if you could swap someone out for those two as an alternative, maybe I'd do that. But I just don't think there's enough between Kane and KDB to make a move myself. That's just my opinion, though. Shanana Goals is flying. He probably shouldn't listen to me.
Do you think, Tom, that he's talking about second chance here? Because if he was to do that in main team, then he would have to make two moves to make that happen, which would sway me even further away from that. As good as it sounds, like you've just said, there's probably better ways of doing things. I do think Jesus is a good outside chance. Like, I'm not just saying that off the back of the 4 goals. I know that that's now brought him to the attention. But as you said to me earlier, Tom, he's fighting for his life. And so he could be a nice differential option for City. He also scored again last night. He's looking confident. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I just think in second chance, does my opinion change too much? I don't know. I still think there are better moves, personally. Even if you could do it in a one or in second chance, I still think there are better moves than Kane to KDB. I really do. That's just my gut feel. That's what my gut tells me. I might be completely wrong.
But that's aligned with what I think with when I compared Son, Kane in the next 3 with KDB. It's like, I feel like Son and Kane as individuals can match whatever KDB will get or even return higher.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we've shed a little bit of, we'll certainly shed some thought processes onto that.
Exactly. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, go for it.
I was going to say, Auto Reclose, thanks for your question, mate. He's saying, in the second chance game, so someone's actually helped us, Ugly Wolf has helped us with this answer, but Auto Reclose says, in the second chance game, do you think Salah is the best captain this week, even if he doesn't play? Because if he doesn't play, we'll get a Liverpool attacker on the safety net.
Nice.
And then Ugly Wolf comments in return, if your captain doesn't play, you'll get your vice-captain's points rather than the captain points, if that makes sense, as the safety net. So you'll get a player to replace Salah, but they won't have the armband. The armband will go to the vice-captain, but you'll get a replacement for Salah. God, it's a tough one for me. We haven't spoken about captaincy this week, I don't think, have we, in too much detail? It's really
not on here. We haven't.
Really tough one for me. Son, Kane, Salah, 3 of those are equal for me. flip a coin between all of them. I think Salah obviously has been the absolute king this season, but I think Newcastle's a really tricky fixture for them. And I think Spurs match up quite well against Leicester, and we all know how good Kane and Son are on their day. So I just don't know. I think it's between the three of them. We'll do a poll as always from our Twitter, of course, and maybe that'll help you. But for me, I'm torn.
So I think for Auto Close, I think Salah will play some part. I think he'll start the game. I don't actually think he's the best captain option this week. Anyway, but I think if he didn't start, he always come on. And I think that's probably more of a worry for him in the second chance game, where you sort of want Salah from the off, because if you're getting him for the final 30 minutes, and it's obviously 60 minutes less of an opportunity for Salah to return in a game that I think could be a banana skin for Liverpool anyway. I will be going on Kane or Son for the captaincy, probably Son, bearing in mind that Leicester have European commitments this week, haven't been fantastic at the back. Probably his playing style plays a little bit more into Tottenham's hands. And then what you talked about, Tom, with Kane's great record against Leicester in the past as well. But it's so difficult.
Sorry we didn't help you too much giving you a definitive player, mate. But it really is difficult. You can't beat around the bush. It is difficult, isn't it?
But the thing is, right, unless Salah gets injured tonight, Salah will play some part in the game against Newcastle, no doubt. If he doesn't start, he comes on. And you don't want that with that second chance. You want, let's say, Diaz starts. He wants Diaz, he wants 90 minutes of Diaz and no Salah. So I think Salah will start, but then my thinking is that he isn't the best captaincy option this week. But then he's been fantastic all season, Tom, as you just said. So, yeah, really tough week for captaincy.
And then final question from FPL Johnny. He's actually, I think we've answered this, to be honest, but he said probably an obvious one, but which teams are you looking to target for the run, double game week 36 and 37? And he's saying, is the answer very different from the second chance versus season-long game? I'll quickly address the second chance one, because I think you've sort of dropped that one, Sam. From my perspective, sort of does. I think it makes Man City players even more attractive for that double in 36. Just with the safety net, you can tactically pick yourself a well-priced Man City player and guarantee that you'll get one to play. So like the likes of, I saw John Stones is like the third most expensive defender, which means that if he doesn't play, you'll always get someone. And I think Foden is priced really quite nicely as well. So even if Foden doesn't play, the next one down is Bernardo Silva and so on. So yeah, I think Man City become a bit more attractive in the second chance. But I think we addressed 36 and 37 when we looked at the fixtures, didn't we? You're big on Everton, and yeah, I really like that too.
That, mate, just whoa, don't say that too fast. That's like, I think to add to that, I think maybe a Leicester defender's a good shout. Again, someone
you said Schmeichel, didn't
like
you?
a Fofana, which you mentioned earlier in your one, where you're probably going to get Soyuncu or someone underneath that, because I think they will rotate a little bit, especially with Fofana having that big injury. So I don't think it changed the strategy too much, but you're bang on about City there. You can come in with one of their kind of cheaper assets and know that you're going to get a player. I think that's a game changer.
Cool. I think that just about covers us, and that's all the questions. Anyway, anything that we've missed at all? I think we discussed pretty much everything, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've gone over some good detail there. So, it's a tricky game week coming up, Tom. This is, in terms of like captaincy and stuff. I think it's sort of solidify where you're at and then wait to attack for the doubles coming up, isn't it? That's what I think our take home is from this.
Okay, I'll wrap it up then. Yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed it, give us a like and a subscribe on YouTube. And yeah, good luck this game week. Like we said, bit of a tricky decision on captaincy. We'll whack a poll up on our Twitter account and see what the consensus is thinking. But yeah, just good luck with your decisions, because I think this is the kind of weekend where some variance is going to come to play, I think. So just hope you're all on the right side of it. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, guys.